Alright. Let's get into it. I don't have as much enthusiasm as last night because I actually just woke up, so Alright, how's the audio sounding? Alright, we sound good. That is great, that is great. Alright. Stolen Turnabout, Part 4. For all we know, this could be the end. I don't know yet, though. You might still be going. I don't know how long this one will last. Hey, Nick! What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Oh, what's going on next door? Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmy's trial today. We still have to have a trial for Atmy? Detective Atmy? They say they're going to try him as mask to mask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Mask to Mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. But are we just gonna ignore this voice? Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Is Maya gonna get kidnapped again? Please don't ignore me! Oh, Mr. Delight. Good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. But wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heist. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. Hmm? I'm with Maya here. Why is it not an option? Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. Defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand, yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. Hmm. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand that, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. Never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Also, he says this as if he's been prosecuted. He must be a defense attorney, right? Because he says he has all these trial stuff, and he's been a renowned name. He just hasn't prosecuted before. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then, let's hear the defendant Mr. Ron DeLine has to say for himself. Finally! We actually get to have some of this.
The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but...
I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. You've got guts, Trite.
Alright then, Mr. Ron DeLite, please take the stand.
I feel like I made the judge's voice deeper. Could have also been because I just woke up. You did it, didn't you? I didn't even skip through that. Oh, Ronnie boy, what are we doing? So he just admitted he did it, but no, that's not true.
For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever.
Well, Mr. Delight already looks pretty guilty with that face he's making. Once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say, boy. I wish I could go.
Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Okay, that seems normal.
1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place.
He's on to cup number 2. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. I wonder, does he have, like, a coffee maker in the courtroom? Because, like, how's he getting all these cups so fast? You never know that from the way he's chugging it down.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Alright. Let's get into this. Around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. He talks about the blackmail letter. And ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere.
Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters, then?
Oh, of course. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. I guess he was about to say that he's masked the mask. Now, what should I do? I guess I'll leave it for now. Just take this one slowly. You kind of look like a politician planning out your next move. Okay, because what's the evidence we got yesterday? Because we have his testimony saying that he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Buzzer went off. Okay. I knew where his office was. Why did he get fired? You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right.
Security chief, you?
And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? Perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject? I'm gonna say life after being fired. Because why he was fired might be a problem. But we also don't know why he was fired. What'd you do after being fired from KB Security? I spent a lot of time looking for work. But then I decided I wanted to start something myself. Not good, this is going from bad to worse. So I started looking at books, TV, and movies, learning all I could about masked men.
Masked men?
So you want to try drawing a comic, right? About masked men? No, that's not right. I wanted to become... Your Honor, let's move on, shall we?
But you asked the question. You're being quite odd today, Mr. Wright.
Way to bring the spinning buzz. Saw one notch closer to your own neck, Ace Attorney. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We'd better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Okay, but we're also, like, preventing him from saying anything. Okay, well, we haven't asked about this yet. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow and my internal clock was also...
1 a.m. That's the exact time the victim, Mr. Mullard, was murdered, right?
It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. Okay, I guess let's talk about this again. I probably wants us to find out why he was fired. Of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. What happens if I press harder about the blackmail letter? So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? The perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, we don't know this. After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of.
An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony.
Yes, sir. Money mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. It wasn't gonna cause me trouble or anything. Oh, but this could reveal his identity. You don't want your true identity revealed to the world. Okay, that's probably what we need to do. Just in case, I'm gonna ask about this. Ask why he got fired. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well... The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back.
Defendant, please answer the question.
Well, I needed money.
You needed money?
Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so... He stole data from the company! Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. Since I was a security team chief...
You stole some data
and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I'd quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You'd do well to remember that. He sure told you.
So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony.
Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed and then blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. Okay, well now we got to... Well, yeah, I know. Maya, shut up. I was trying to go back. So we got 2 bits of new info. We got... fired me for selling company secrets. I'm trying to get all the info I can, so I know more going forward. Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby, what else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste! So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what you think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples.
Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright.
Okay. So, the only thing we can do is show the blackmail letter.
Blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct?
I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask-to-mask thing.
Objection!
I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was mask-to-mask. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. Ooh, maybe I wasn't supposed to reveal this. But that was all over with once I was fired! But it is true that the fact I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? Oh, okay, maybe I am on the right track. This is an interesting one. The fact that Ron was stealing company data, I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. Yes, he would, because his wife doesn't like criminals. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client?
Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right! Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes, now come on. Provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data selling secret from going public? I mean, my first thought was his wife. Hates criminals and cowards more than anything. Yeah, it's gotta be this. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? Well, it doesn't. I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. Also, are we assuming his wife isn't at the trial right now? Because she was like at the last one.
A certain person?
Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. What? But listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know, it was all your wife's fault.
What do you mean?
Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Okay, Godot is pretty good at jumping to conclusions. Oh. No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry! Ron, you're not helping your own case, buddy.
Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far.
What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes.
Franziska von Karma has something to say about that.
Alright, that's a good one.
Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and then he killed to protect his secret. Family man who cared just a little too much.
The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. Alright, the CEO's office. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. Is it possible that that Atme hit Delight here with the sword? If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. Wearing what? When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead.
I see. Certainly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Masked Mask struck him on the head from behind.
Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Huh. No one's gonna believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked!
We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination.
Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Okay. I'll ask him about that. I'm most suspicious of this. That? Could you please clarify what you are referring to? Why, my Masked Mask costume, of course.
Wait just a moment. Masked a mask?
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Masked a Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. Okay, it's all coming together now. What if... There's weird time manipulation, though. Because these both happened at the same time. Because, like, okay, my theory, throwing time out the window, is that Atme hit Ron with the sword, knocked him out, stole his costume. And then, after that... Or did Atme say there was a duplicate costume? He stole the costume, and then brought the evidence back, stole the urn. I don't know. I'm confused.
What?
Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either.
Even I didn't know that.
Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know, just something, things just slip your mind.
My sixth cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony.
Alright. I'm wearing my mask-to-mask costume. Gotcha. Okay. Press him on this one more time. Why were you dressed up as Mask-to-Mask? Why, because I'm Mask-to-Mask, of course.
What are you talking about? Mask-to-mask trial is being held next door.
Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask-to-Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? Let's press harder. What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught in the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullet's body.
Oh.
I did forget about that. I did forget about that.
What was that? Back up a second.
Yes?
You were the one that hid the body in the safe?
Well, yeah.
Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking?
Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What is Blood yapping about?
What?
The answer is simple. When they take them off.
As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Well, yes.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh, looks like a storm front is moving in on over the fair weather judge. Panicked to hit the body, but took about 10 minutes. This could be big. This could be big. Buzzer went off at 1:02. What else do we have about the time? Time of death about 1 a.m. Okay. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in the drawer. It's not exactly what I mean. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it.
I think you had a simpler reason than that.
It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body.
That certainly makes more sense.
Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? Spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick! If you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? said, I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. Okay. So I assume it will be with this. Yeah, wait, no, I was just trying to go back. Yeah, okay. There's a suspicious shadow. Suddenly his hit on the forehead. He's wearing the costume. Took about 10 minutes. This is the warehouse, so it's not anything with this. Storeroom entrance, same thing. Tried to reveal to the world. I don't think it's the blackmail letter. Let's save just in case. This could be a tricky one. I think it's the blackmail letter. I don't think it'll be his wallet either. Publicity, no. This was from at me. 1 AM was the time of death. About first heist guard. Oh, but the buzzer went off, right? Buzzer went off at about 1:02 AM. Yeah, it's this. Objection! Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record?
And what might this be?
The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 AM.
What?
Mr. Ron DeLite truly was the murderer. He would have ran out as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way.
Objection! Huh. Let's remember who we're dealing with here.
You probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. Objection! Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as the chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
Objection!
But, as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. DeLite could have known.
Objection!
I think we're having a battle here.
Again, remember who we're dealing with here.
It's a sure bet that Mr. DeLite didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
Objection!
This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that?
Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. DeLite said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. DeLite didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
So,
What are you trying to say? Mr. DeLite was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Ron DeLite and then pressed the buzzer.
Order in the court, Mr. Wright. This is...
Objection! This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron DeLite is the one who killed Kane Bullard. Objection! Then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
You had to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? That's an excellent question, Mr. Wright. Oh, we gotta have a thing on this, too. Poster for the treasures occurring... Well, there weren't any fingerprints on the buzzer itself. Yeah, there are no fingerprints. I can prove it. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. A piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. I believe this is the piece of ink. Holy hell, it's a lot of letters. Incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before you're opening your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind.
Objection! Rhonda Light obviously wiped them off.
Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment.
He touched that button, I know he did.
The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Mask to Mask. And Mask to Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly had to have wiped the button for your fingerprints?
Order, order, order! It would seem... Oh, not yet. I've been forced to eat crow.
I wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger?
Oh, they wanted to frame Mr. Delight.
What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden?
I mean, I think I know the answer. Looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed, security was supposed to respond.
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then. You got some guts. I like that in an opponent.
Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer?
To call the security guard. Because they wanted someone to come in and arrest Ron Delight. Okay. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes, although as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
What a touching story. Saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in?
No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer.
Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder.
Order! 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 It would seem...
I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Mask to Mask. Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? Probably the person who it showed our shadow. I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard?
It's not any of us four. Wouldn't be Gumshoe. It's not Master Mass himself. I can only assume at me. Because the game is literally telling me. Because none of these other people make sense. I don't think it would be Larry. It's not Kane. It's not Godot. If it's not at me, it's his wife. Or maybe Adrian. These are the only three suspects I can think of. Detective Luke at me. He's the only one who could have done it.
Ace Detective?
Luke at me?
You mean Mask to Mask did it?
Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Mask to Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard.
Order, Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Okay, real quick. We've been going for a bit. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime?
They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment.
Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke at me confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as well as Mask to Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along.
To be found guilty?
Mask to Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask to Mask was Luke at me's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi.
A guilty verdict as an alibi?
Well, that's what Ron wanted to do. Yeah. You know, it's almost time.
For what?
For Luke at me's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're gonna stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. I'm texting my friend right now. Okay. I tried to recruit my friend into the live chat.
Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and failed to provide an adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal.
Am I really sure about this? But it's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you! Mr. Delight. So please, I'm begging you! Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice. It sounds like... Mia! Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
So that's your answer, huh? Very well, I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess.
This is good. It's not the peak cinematic masterpiece that is the Fred movie. Yeah, I know.
Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand.
Yes, Your Honor. Alright, Chris, to fill you in. Basically, there was a theft at another building, and a detective confessed, and we think this other guy is the murderer. But I actually flipped the script, and I said that the detective accused of stealing the urn is actually the real murder. And it's actually the other way around. Wait, what? Winston Payne? What is he doing here?
Well, Sir Detective Atmey.
I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Oh, no, Sir Detective Atmey. You were the one who...
Oh god, this judge is so weird. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. The court finds the defendant Luke Atme. Hold it! Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please! Well, well, Sir Lawyer. Welcome to my courtroom. Who's this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atme. Accusation? You accuse Mask the Mask? That man is not Mask the Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? To be continued. Well, are we going to continue right now? Because we're going to take a recess. Yeah, okay, we're still in the courtroom. Okay. October 14th. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive? Inside your heart? Chris, this is my, not my, like, companion, but my partner. My partner at, my defense attorney. Okay. So then, she's still alive inside your heart. Nicky boy! This is the, defendant's wife. Not the one we just accused of murder, but the other one. Oh, Miss Delight! Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. There we go. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lurley Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. Need to find some solid proof. It's gotta happen sooner rather than later. October 14th. I don't know why I keep reading the date. The one thing that stays the same.
Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand.
Also, you may be realizing Luke Atme, that's like look at me. A lot of people's names in this game are puns. Well, well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. Couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. I don't know if you would know this game series. This game reminds me of a more tame version of Criminal Case. I'll have to look it up because I enjoy this game. Because this is also like a version of Danganronpa, which I've been telling you about. Because in Danganronpa, you also got to solve murders. This is like similar to that. They're both good visual novels. An alibi by the name of Mask to Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I can know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask to Mask.
Indeed. It's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are in fact Mask to Mask. Of course.
Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks.
Alright, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. The alibi. Alright, what does he gotta say? I was stealing the urn as Mask the Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Mask the Mask was the same time as the murder.
Seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. Has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Mask the Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. But he's speaking like Franziska von Karma now. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Alright. Now we're gonna do the tactical save here, so I don't have to go through the beginning of this trial again. Okay. Stealing the urn as Master Master just as I announced I would. That seems right. More than enough time to prepare. Let's hear more about that. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You truly are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am. Hey Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. What I've seen so far, a movie adaptation would be interesting. That's what I've been thinking. I know there is an anime. They made an anime, I think, of at least this main trilogy that's on Steam. One turned out to be an eyewitness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mass was the same time as the murder. That does seem correct. I think there's got to be something with this, though. Because Ron was still at the place where he got knocked out. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come on now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see.
So I better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false? Has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask-to-mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Okay. Let's ask about this then. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That it is. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime.
Surely even you understand by now.
Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. A basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. Okay, it's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Oh god, not this picture again. Listen. I don't know how 24 hours clocks work. Why does it start at 0 and not 1? If it's 1 AM. Like, I get it's gonna go up to 24. That's the only thing I can think that is wrong? Are you implying this picture's a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. I took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. There's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Oh, was it the statue? Had to be on the paint, right? Hold on. Carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime, moved again that night. Because Adrian... I think it's got to be that, right? What about this photograph do you find funny? I'm gonna go with this. Funny part is right here.
Why, this is a blood stain.
No, actually not.
Blood. Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. If it was Danganronpa, it would be blood, but...
Oh, just painted. Peach colored at that.
From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains?
The statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of their crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection!
Just get Nickelback to help you look at this photograph? Yeah, if only. But when I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally.
Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Oh, rhyme and reason? Sounded like Nickelback with the rhyming. Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it?
Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
What if I say it was Ron? He's the only one I can think of.
What do you think, Mr. Godot?
A man should be able to answer his own questions. That's what I think. Right now, I'm busy trying to come up with 2 answers of my own. Why is coffee black? And why is it bitter?
Mr. Wright, to put it simply, you've messed up.
What are you doing, Nick? You need to think about why the statue was moved. The thing about everyone choose me out is that gives me time to think. Okay, was it just Adrian again then? Okay, I'm a little confused on this one. Don't help me out in the chat yet. Who is the one that moved the statue? If it's Luke, it's gonna prove... I don't know, Was it Luke? No, yeah, because Adrian wanted it over the thing. Okay, I'm confused at the whole... Okay. I'm confused because we said that the KB security where the murder took place was like 20 minutes away. And the theft of the urn... Yeah, the theft of the urn and KB security were 20 minutes away. So it must have been that the photograph happened on a different day. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions.
Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions?
It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue?
The reason can be found here in this photograph.
Oh boy, another one.
Luke Atme, you pretended to be Mask to Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lord Lee Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. We've looked at this photograph like 3 times. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film in a drugstore. Okay, that's a good one. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Oh god, I lose 3 if I get this wrong? Oh! Good. Wait, no. Is it because the box doesn't have paint on it? The lie is Mask to Mask.
Are you saying that this Mask to Mask is a fake?
You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Huh? The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? So what possible connection could there be with Mask to Mask's identity?
Your face has "oh buggers" written all over it. That's a penalty for you.
Okay, but like... my reasoning... Okay, now I can't even pulling up the court record. Okay. We know Adrian spilled the paint. Is it the box stain? Line the photo is okay, yeah, it's not that then. Okay, and this is why we saved the game, because it's gonna be... For some reason the culprit didn't want the statue in the picture. It's not Mask the Mask. Dog, I don't know! Is it just the puddle again? Nope. Okay. Alright, we got one chance left. It's not the box. Is it just the time? Oh, okay. Naturally, the line in this photo is the timestamp. Okay, I don't think I'll overwrite the save yet because I only have one like health bar left. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor this time.
But what does that have to do with the statue being moved?
That's what I'm asking. Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was the statue placed beside the warehouse door?
Well,
The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. Oh, okay.
what the?
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in this photo. Yeah!
Order! Order! Mr. Atme, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera didn't indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data.
Order! Order! Mr. Goodell, what is the meaning of this? Goodell, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down.
My 11th cup. How many does he say he drinks? 17? I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop.
However, the defense has a very good point.
Good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. It's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied. Which is? Cup number 12. That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams.
That's very true.
No, wait, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? There's no funny business in your actions as Mask the Mask. There should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn.
Okay. Now this is where
we're gonna bring in, like, the urn, the paint, and the box itself. Okay.
I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Zavalery. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. October 12th. Okay. It's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but you will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave.
Witness, you sure there are no mistakes this time?
Svali.
Very well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay, I know it's either gotta be he's gonna say that the box had no paint on it, or he's gonna say that the urn said Amy on it. So let's ask about the box first. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh, interesting new tidbit. Okay. You were unable to see the urn for yourself, so you're sure that you had never seen the urn before. Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, look at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. See my card. Well, let's ask about when he held the urn. This is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed, to be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would have mattered terribly much. Hey Nick, this photo is a fake. Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can arrest him. Yeah, I know. I just... Blah, blah, blah. I know he'd never seen the urn. I just need him to say something about it. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right? Indeed, it seemed they had heard of my Zvakling reputation. I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You'd better watch out too, Maya. Urn. Let's ask him about this again. You sure you'd never seen the urn before? Indeed, you missed Lady Andrews. No information whatsoever. You mean this calling card? That's right, that is without a doubt my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Handled security by myself to make sure crime would go smoothly. And no one entered the basement warehouse. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. Okay. What does he have to say about this again? Photo proves... when a photo was taken... If this photo's a fake, Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. Now, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there... Not a lot to go on, is there? How do we do that? There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly, that he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. So we need to prove that he saw the urn before he stole it. Okay, so let's look at this. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. Is it just that, then? One box had the sticker on it. Dang it, I can't. Handle security. I don't know what the contradiction is. Like, I know what it's gonna be. I just don't know what to show. This box. Pathetic box. She wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. So he couldn't have Saw it in the storeroom. Get that. Never seen the urn before. Well, what if it's something with this photo? This is the fake photo. If he faked it, again, shouldn't there have been paint on it? Okay. Broken and repaired by Adrian Andrews. If only I could just get him to, like, say something about what it looked like when he saw it. Like, I'm right there. I'm so close. I just don't know what it is. To be honest, even if the photo was a fake, didn't think it would matter. He stole the urn whenever it was taken. Oh, wait, okay. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. Trying to use big brain here. Okay. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago. Then replaced in its box. Kept out of sight. Wooden box that had the sacred... I think this is gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna go with the box on this.
Objection!
Yeah. Game over. That's fine. I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, blah blah. Extremely. Court finds the defendant Ron Delight. Boo! The bad ending. Oh, I've seen this all before. Okay, alright, okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna not make any mistakes with the photo, and then this will all be a lot smoother. Okay. Who was the one who moved the statue? Why, it was Luke at me, of course. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now we can skip all this dialogue. We've seen this all before. Blah, blah, blah. How's your day going, everyone? Single fatal flaw. It exists in the time. Okay. Timestamp is a lie. And the question. It's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to be at Lordly Taylor at this time. I feel like it's gonna be either something super obvious or like super dumb. Because this trial so far has been like fairly easy. You know, there hasn't been anything that I've really wanted to argue with. And that's why I'm worried. Like, this has been like a pretty solid trial. Okay, then it's gonna be like... There it is. Okay. Okay, come on. Stop sipping your coffee. We know. Okay. Dude, why is it? Oh! I know what it is. Maybe. He's specifying the date. He's specifying 1 AM on October 12th. Security camera photo taken the night of the crime. Well, if he faked it, it would have been before that. So do I do this?
Objection!
Oh, no I don't. Okay. I still didn't fucking save my game. Or did I? I don't know. I'll save it. I'll save it here. We'll just we won't get full health, but you know that'll represent because you know I lost and I messed up. You know, 1 a.m. at the night of the crime. Do I do this?
Objection!
No. For the first time. Hid in the basement warehouse on the day of the crime. On the day of the crime. We were together that night.
Objection!
I'm just trying shit at this point. Why don't I go back to the theories that actually like made sense with like the urn? I feel like it's gonna be one of these, you know? Find Ron's wallet. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Okay, no, I thought it was gonna be that. Okay. That 1 a.m. Is it this?
Objection!
Okay, no. Alright. Redo! Redo! Chat. Chat, I'm at a loss here. Send my card 10 days beforehand. I'll be coming to the Purloin, the price of treasures carrying. Hold the urn in my hand. He doesn't say anything about being Amy or being I am. So like, we can't get him on any of that. Okay. I have a strategy, right? We're gonna press him on everything. And then we're gonna go back and press him on everything again. Because sometimes that'll reveal new information. It's done that before. I'm gonna spend like an hour on this section. Many different treasures being taken there for a period of approximately 5 days. People were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. Okay, well, he just revealed how he could have gotten it. Handled security by myself. So, what if it's just this?
Objection!
Okay, that's stupid because, like, he literally just fucking said that. What's the other one? What if I, do the warehouse camera?
Objection!
No. I bet it's so obvious. But I'm just not getting it. Okay. Well, I said I was gonna CX everything twice. You just gotta prove the photo was a fake. And he said...
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
I don't want to look up a guide.
Hold it!
I don't want to look up a tutorial. But I might have to. If I haven't figured it out by now, it's something super stupid. Spence Fire is sent to the warehouse. Unable to see the right for myself. It's gotta be something like this. Is it?
Objection!
No. Cause when I'm talking with Maya, this part is highlighted. So is it this?
Objection!
Jesus, what is it? Oh my god. This is ridiculous. He had never seen the urn before he stole it. Need to prove that he's lying. What about this and the box?
Objection!
Is it something in the profiles? Head of Planning, Promotion, and Security. Okay, it's definitely not this, but what if it's that? Yeah. What haven't I done yet? We already did the box on the box. Unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. Dropped the urn's box 2 weeks ago. She also knocked over some paint. It was an extremely valuable treasure. I sent my card 10 days beforehand. Insecurity.
Objection!
Chat, how many more attempts until I look up a guide?
Objection!
Okay, I'm gonna give it one more round. If my health runs out again, I'm looking up a guide. Because I need to actually finish this stream. Or else it's gonna go on forever.
Objection!
Okay, he says... Actually, I'm unable to see myself to the crime. What if I do the box on this?
Objection!
No. Okay, we got two... I got 2 chances left until I look up a guide.
Objection! Objection!
Okay, I give up. We're looking up a tutorial on this. Okay. God, I'm only like halfway through this trial. Oh my god. Okay. I think it's really fucking stupid. Okay. So what you're supposed to do is, I believe you look at this one. I'll just save here. And he sent his card 10 days beforehand, and you're supposed to look at the card itself. It says, take good care of the speckled urn. And that's when you're supposed to say this. My problem with that is that doesn't say a damn thing about whether he saw the urn or not. It's like, oh, you know, it's just like, oh, well, he knew the urn was speckled. No, it doesn't. You could just describe something as speckled. That's dumb. That's really fucking dumb. You also read this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with this calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask the Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to the pink pattern on the sacred urn. I was just gonna say, 'cause it's shiny, but whatever. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Mask the Mask could not have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear till after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding the joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, urn was broken due to a human error, or should I say a error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. It can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Gwah!
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Get her. Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh?
What's this, cup number 13?
Ah. So sad. No one has any conviction these days.
Conviction, you say?
Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Mask the Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point.
No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you my merry murderer's motive manifest? Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If you prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Rondelite as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder.
The only one with any motive we've seen is Rondelite.
Isn't that right, Detective?
Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
I'd be honored to, sir, old timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this might be our only chance. I, Luke Atme, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Mask the Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote that blackmail letter and sent it to Rondelite. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Mask the Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. How does he know about the blackmail letter?
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant.
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. Handwritten test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Okay.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
Alright. I, Luke Atme, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. What has he got to say about that? Who in the world is going to prove that? I will. After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and Kane Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report.
Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security.
Nope.
That was blunt.
In any case, the only one with the motive was Mr. Delight. Decided to investigate Mask the Mask and simply mistook who he was. Somehow I highly doubt that. Mistook? That's right, mistook, from the Old Norse misteka, meaning to take an error. That wasn't what I meant.
Just who did the victim mistake Mask the Mask to be?
Why, the answer is obvious. Rondelite, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Let's press harder. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Mask the Mask? Don't you already know that? Zavali! Take a look at this newspaper. Oh, that's the famous Deer of Emanon, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant.
The defendant?
The victim clearly misread the article on Zavali. He got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact a Mask the Mask.
I see.
That was an unusually reasonable deduction. Mr. Bullard, he wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rondelite. Once again, Mr. Bullard harboring a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. How do you know about his betrayal? What do you mean by that? Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. Zavali! Yeah, okay. Yeah, he stole data. Ken Bullard had yet to forgive Mr. Young with delight, which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief.
Here's a file that we discovered in Mr. Bullard's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullard was receiving money through blackmail. However, isn't this a bit odd? Why did the defendant pay Mr. Bullard the money, even though he wasn't actually masked to mask?
On that point, there was an unfortunate bit of chance. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he's masked to man. Yeah, but still, why would he get money?
Do you think that story's gonna hold up?
That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid. What do you mean?
They could have here a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight. Ronnie thinks he's masked to mask. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him.
Well, Mr. Wright? Was he trying to act like Mr. Delight just now? I thought he was actually pretty convincing. God, I'm so burnt out, but I just wanted to finish this case. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction, the result of carefully applied reasoning.
Can we hear that careful reasoning for ourselves?
It's a long story, and better saved for another time.
Very well, another time.
So-called long stories aren't usually that long, at least not in my experience. So you're gonna try to connect Detective Atme to Mr. Bullard, right? Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail. It's true. Is that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? If you don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony. Okay. So I guess I just didn't press him on this. You mean this blackmail letter right here?
It says bring $50,000.
And the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's. There's no mistake, we have an official report to prove it.
But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere.
Addressee? This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment, and Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there's no addressee is irrelevant. I wonder... What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Whoa, do you have any evidence of that? Sometimes I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied? So it's if you don't want your true identity revealed. Take that red diamond you received. And he's wearing a red diamond right here. Wait, look, we gotta save again. I don't want another repeat of last time.
Objection!
Okay. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk.
Times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed. Time to man up, Mr. Wright.
Show us the contradicting evidence in the contents of the blackmail letter. Bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. He has a red diamond on his finger? Maybe? Huh. A little 2-1 punch like that wouldn't even faze me.
Objection!
I think you mean 1-2 punch.
Mr. Wright, try thinking things through a little more before finding fault with others.
Let's try reading the blackmail letter one more time. Yeah, I know! It says red diamond. There's a red diamond right there. What are we doing? Oh my god.
Objection!
Fucking hell. This case is going down a lot in my rankings, pal. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, Come to KV Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. There's no red diamond in this. Not that either. What the fuck?
Objection!
He doesn't have a red jewel there. That's a blue jewel. There's no red gem. What if I just do blackmail letter on blackmail letter? I don't know why I thought that would work, quite frankly.
Objection!
There's no red jewel. I'm just gonna do the calling card. Okay, no, fuck it. I'm looking up a guide again. This is ridiculous. Of course, you have to sit through ads just to look at the video. And the video restarted. Great, great. Just what I wanted. Just what I wanted, actually. Yet again, it doesn't fucking make sense. Okay, notice how in this blackmail letter, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. It wanted us to look at this, the first heist, which was the Tear of Emanon, which is blue. It's saying that's the evidence. This was weeks ago. It's bullshit.
Objection!
Dumbass. Contains a picture of the Tool of Emanon, the stolen jewel. Problem is the jewel's color. Color, not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, blue. I'll take the red diamond. The other day. The other day! That must be like a translation issue, okay? Like,
Point is, Mr. Trite, so you're trying to say this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That's what you're trying to say, right? Is that what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that's what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. Yeah, he was blackmailing him. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. I don't even care about reading the dialogue anymore.
Probably the run conspicuously wrapped around your finger. Yeah, that red diamond. It's bad game design if you can point out the stuff in the future, but you're using the wrong evidence. Red diamond. Yeah, I know, it was for him.
Order in the court. Objection. What's Goodell gotta say? It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Adme. Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Answer me. This. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world... Yes, it certainly does.
Okay, now what is his identity? Actually, okay, now we gotta lock back in.
Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Adme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity?
Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep a secret? That's what it all comes down to, Nick. The Luke Atme wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as an ace detective, because he's not Mask the Mask. Luke Atme was an ace detective. Thank you for the kind introduction. I am Luke Atme, ace detective. One embodies the nefarious forces of darkness, the other the angelic cherubs of night.
I am completely lost. Someone get me a translator. But anyway, everyone already knows you're an ace detective.
Okay, so then was he a blackmailer? Because Ron is Mask the Mask. Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't this a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd, it's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Eminon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some kind of... Ah, I see. Okay, in which case, that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Mask the Mask. That is what you're claiming. Someone else came up with the plans, and had Mr. Delight still as targets for him. That someone was none other than Luke Atme. Silence! Now I see it's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you'd receive the same report card every year. Careless with a tendency to jump to conclusions, am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron Delight. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask the Mask. Oh, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed the first crime.
Good point. You certainly could have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how to lock Luke... Because... they were at the crime together? I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. Seems that Mask the Mask didn't just appear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to... Why is it doing Luke Atme?
Sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Mask the Mask was really Ron Delight. What the... Wasn't he supposed to be Mask the Mask? Other than that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm famous and proud ace detective and also master mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you... How dare you even dare imply that one so smart could ever touch a lily? That's why not consider you're something of those big muscles of yours. You're fools. Fools, I say. None of you can accompany journeys to religious justice. So good, that's good. So something I still don't understand. Oh wait, no, never mind. Because the photo is a fake. But if Ron stole the urn, how did he see the... This one's confusing. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare yourself for Mr. Atme. Oh my god, good Oh my god. Hammer that strikes too fast is no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What are you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right, that's why he was the one who killed Mr. Bolt. But... still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene.
Therefore, if you can't prove this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. Yeah, he's got a point there. Unfortunately. The longest case of my life. It's the final round. You've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office that night. But, can you really prove that? It's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security, and the defense... I'm gonna say we can't prove it, because why not? I can't prove it.
Just as I thought.
But if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony... Fortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atme is here after we interrupted his own trial. You have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as mask to mask. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Order! Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness.
Can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick! We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... then it'll be too late. Why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else.
Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask to mask, which means...
he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
I mean, I don't really think that's how that works. Because it's double jeopardy's for the same crime.
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt of the crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
What? Now, there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer Luke Atme will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there's no more testimony, I'm afraid I'll have to declare the...
The wife's gonna come in again. Or Adrian.
hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme.
Objection!
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Oh, Mia appeared. You forgot what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice, no way. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is the true power of the Curian channeling technique. No, that's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine... Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Fortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Oh, no, Sir Lawyer, it seems low,
Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as these witnesses made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. You think such falsehoods would do anything to make me look at me? Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness has made some remarks, so then let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you...
Very well then, Mr. Luke Atme. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examination your earlier remark.
Excuse me. The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Indeed, it is true that I was not Lord Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction must have informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavali! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy.
His earlier remarks does not appear to have hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. They always look over the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer.
You gonna make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
We cannot postpone Luke Atme's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec, just one chance?
Seems that the party's about to begin. With that, I'm gonna save over the file.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
Cup number 17, the last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and compress it. I only get one chance. Alright. Let's do this. God, there's so many! No! It's not gonna be that. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I don't know if it's that. I'd known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. Thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. Button did not have any fingerprints. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it. Which means the killer... Wait, oh, wait a minute! Killer didn't sound it. Mr. Atme. Thought this last remark.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? Isn't the time to be present to witness on every little statement. What? Said this before. There's still one thing you haven't proven. That the scum was in Kane Bullard's office that night. Now, it's time for me to drink... Oh, wait, did I read that wrong? I think I read that wrong. Okay, I was about to get mad, but I think I actually... I read it. I read it wrong. Because I think I read killer, and I was like, oh, that means Kane Bullard. Okay, let's calm down, let's calm down. Let's breathe. Yeah, okay. Blackmail letter? Victim. Wait a minute, how'd you know he was wearing the outfit?
Objection!
It's not that either? I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. He was wearing his outfit. That's what I said, my deductions are complete foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron DeLite was dressed as Mask to Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was,
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Oh, yeah, okay. That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should have known this are those who have been watching the trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as Mask to Mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about this piece of information?
Objection!
come on, this detective must have known all about it. Probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. DeLite was wearing his Mask to Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. DeLite's testimony. Suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Objection!
But Mr. DeLite never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. DeLite saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron DeLite.
Impossible.
Yeah, I knew that. Detective Atme, you saw Mask to Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron DeLite. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. What's happening? Oh. It's the same line you gave yesterday, but I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time.
What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron DeLite. Upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron DeLite. He then claimed to be guilty as Mask to Mask in order to escape his true crime.
To that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule in making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. I swear if Ron is gonna come in here again. Ron, shut the fuck up. That's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but... Yeah, I know he's mask to mask. I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it.
I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defense says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was found innocent. That's not how that works! We were trying him for murder, not for being... Or wait, no. No, I'm right. Wait, no, they're right. Because we already tried him for theft once. Or... I don't know. This case was confusing. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see that? Yeah, okay. I wasn't really a big fan of this one. It's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days.
You mean about becoming the master of the Curane channeling school?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Oh, Mr. Wright! I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much! No, wait. Nothing really... Come on, just be happy already. You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as mask to mask to boot. I'm not sure we should be celebrating that. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming mask to mask? And all for one reason. For her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became master. Yeah, we know this. It's over now. Broken bowl can never be put back together. A broken ore is put back together like 2 times. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, Nick, and Nick can prove it. What kind of...
Even if bowl's broken, there's always a way to put it back together. The urn.
The sacred urn? Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. There you are! Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie! You're innocent! I'm so happy! Thank you, I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. Oh, so she was at the trial. I never imagined that you were really mask to mask either. Miss Delight, what are you gonna do now that you know? You're not gonna really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. Like Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Married woman! Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations! How did you get here? Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife in front of Mystic Maya? No, you've got it all right. I'll never forgive you, never, ever! Didn't this happen last time? So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Bro, Pearl's getting Mike Wazowski'd here. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. And I wouldn't necessarily call it that. Also, wasn't the urn brown before? Okay, that was a doozy. Is that Maya again? Recipe for turnabout. Okay. Well, let's see what we're getting into next time.
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts.
It wasn't me, I swear it wasn't me.
Evidence and testimony we have seen and heard are all conclusive. The victim was alone at his table where he drank that poisoned cup of coffee.
No, you're wrong. I know what I saw. I saw... I saw someone else there. A man. He's the real killer. That was Godot, wasn't it? It's either mine or Godot's haircut. We're pretty similar. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you?
Mr. Wright?
This court finds the defendant.
Okay, so I got someone guilty.
This court is adjourned.
Game over, go back to title screen. Uh-oh. January 6th! We gotta go! Alright, well, thanks for watching the stream. Bye-bye.